What's up guys, JayzTwoCents here, and this is a big box. It is a big box. I'm about to show you what's in the box. What's in the box? Oh, okay, bad reference there. Why are you laughing so much? Anyway, if you guys wanna know what's in the box, stay tuned, and if you want to be able to win what's in this box, like physically this exact one, then make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. This is gonna be kind of hard for me because I have to unbox this, and I have to keep it reusable because it's being shipped off after I'm done with it. So what we have right here is actually a pre-built system from XOTIC PC. Something we've been working on collaborating since like back in November. The problem was, you know, the holidays and CES and New Year and all that get in the way. And then recently with the whole cryptocurrency mining thing, it's just been hard to build computers. So that's why we're gonna talk about a pre-built today, because this might make more sense than ever to actually consider buying a pre-built, you know, with the graphics card pricing being all ridiculous and all. Okay, so this is one of those. So we got a box in a box here. Oh boy. I'm never gonna Jenga this back together, you know that, right?
You should actually mark what corner they are because they fit the box. Don't do that.
Z370E Strix motherboard. I have this exact one, actually. That's not really the star of the show. This right here, trust me when I say, you are gonna want this. We've got a mortar mouse. This is a mouse pad. You guys remember when I showed some of the custom PCs at CES? Well, XOTIC PC was one of those systems. And they, you know, I fancy that I, myself, a pretty good PC builder. But there's a lot of people who want custom stuff like you see behind me right here, but they just are not comfortable doing it themselves, and or they want the warranty, or specifically today, they cannot afford it because of the GPU prices and RAM prices alone. That's why SIs come in handy. Hey Nick, look, we got more.
Oh boy.
You're gonna have so much fun reboxing this. Oh baby. Oh, well, would you look at that? I think this might be a rigid tube system. Oh, and there's foam inside the case too. Have fun. So far, it looks like it's still full of fluid, so that's a plus. Oh my God, this is why you're here. Oh baby, look at that. So this is the XOTIC PC G7 Avenger. Now you can outfit pretty much any kind of PC you want from them. They are an SI, a system integrator. It means they're, you know, you guys, have you ever emailed me going, hey Jay, can you build me a system? I don't really want to do it myself. I like your builds, I want you to do it for me. That's exactly what those guys do. They build systems like this for a living. Everything from mild to wild. I mean, you guys could get pretty much anything out of XOTIC in terms of style. I mean, the sky's the limit. Let's see what's in the box here. This is actually pretty heavy. So they probably put all of your manuals and things in here. XOTIC PC, here's your thank you for your purchase. Here's a sticker, motherboard manual, leftover cables and stuff from the EVGA power supply that's in there. We even have an extra fan, look at that. That's like a $30 fan right there, a $25 fan, not bad. So we got that, we got some more manuals, everything that you need to understand your system. How did that just come out of there? Why am I so bad at this? Now when this system was ordered, they communicate with you through the entire process. They let you know it's being built, they let you know it's being tested, they let you know that it's past QA and QC or quality control, and then they give you your tracking information and all your shipping information, and they've got several different types of shipping. Now normally it will show up like you just saw right here. It's all the Instapack foam, double boxed. Mine actually came on a pallet, and you can actually palletize these if you want, and is an option. All right, so in terms of specs, obviously it's in a Fractal design Meshify C. They put a custom logo on the front. We've got an Intel 8700K. We've got an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. It's an EVGA version. It says Black Edition. We've got 16 gigabytes of G.Skill TridentZ RGB 3866 megahertz. It's the XOTIC PC Stage 2 custom water cooling. So what that basically means is the components that are cooled on this, or stage 1, 2, 3, and it goes up from there. You can cool motherboard, and it can go, like I said, from mild to wild. So the stage refers to what parts are actually being water cooled. This is obviously a rigid tubing build right here. They can do it with soft tubing as well. Let's see, our operating system drive is a 250 gigabyte 960 EVO NVMe SSD, and then we have a 2 terabyte SSHD or a Seagate hybrid drive for our main storage on there. So it is a Firecuda, and then it's got Windows 10 Home on there. What I want to kind of look at right here, oh, and in terms of cooling, I'm not entirely positive of the brand of this radiator. This looks like Aqua Computer. I could be wrong, but that looks like an Aqua Computer radiator. And if it is, that is a seriously high-end rad right there. But look at all of this. We got bits power fittings right here. Every little detail was thought of. Custom sleeved cables. It looks like something I would build, and probably a little better, to be honest. We've also got our RGB fans right here from Corsair, and those are the maglev fans. But let's take a look at this right now. The chest for any builder is the cable management. Do we want to see what's behind here? What's behind door number 2? Wow. It's actually not bad at all. So these are extensions that are on here. We've got all of our rest of our cables down there. We've got our controller right here for the RGB fans. There's something else I want to point out though. This right here, this is a drain valve. So not only do they have it custom water cooled, it is of course easy to maintain. So here is your drain valve right there. And you could actually fill it technically by this as well, because it's not gonna be very easy to get to the reservoir on this particular case because of where they have it mounted. But let's take a look at that. Oh, and here's our SSHD right there. Cable management on this is extremely well thought out. But here's your reservoir right here. So getting a fitting up into there, or even a tube, isn't too easy. It would have been kind of neat if maybe they drilled a hole up here so you could get a funnel into that, but whatever. I mean, I guess that's something the person themselves could do if they wanted to snip that out, because you have this cover that goes on there anyway for your fan filter. But you gotta admit though, they have done a great job at building a custom system inside of a small mid-tower case like the Meshify C. So anyway, you know what's next? We gotta fire this up and we gotta see what this bad boy looks like when it's turned on. I'm turned on, I don't know about you guys. Now I'm not gonna be loading any of my profiles on here or doing benchmarks or any of that, mostly because I'm not keeping this system. So I don't wanna load my stuff on there, but XOTIC PC puts this thing through days of testing, stress testing, torture testing, game testing, to make sure there are absolutely zero problems with temperature or stability. But the main reason why I'm not loading any of my stuff on here is because I'm not keeping this system. This system is actually for a giveaway. One of you lucky people watching this video is going to win this exact system, and I'll sign it if you want me to, otherwise I won't graffiti on your case. So I'm not loading any of my stuff on here. I want you to get it exactly as it ships, but I guarantee you it performs as well as a 1080 Ti on water can perform, and an 8700K. I believe it's overclocked. I think it has a small overclock. I really don't know, we'll check the BIOS, but this is gonna be yours, and I don't want to start loading stuff on here and screwing around with it. But some of the stuff we are gonna check is like acoustics. The build quality we already saw is next to none. This is really top tier build quality. We're gonna check and see if it's overclocked. We're gonna take a look in the BIOS, and we're gonna see how the lighting and stuff looks on this right now. So without further ado, let's go ahead and make sure this is on back here. It wasn't. So I was about to look like a fool. Okay, so without further ado and procrastination, let's go ahead and just power it on and see what it looks like. You can see we've got some passive RGB lighting there. It's set to red, just not really doing anything. But look at that, it switches to white. I'm glad, look at this, they went to white. Oh, thank you for that. We don't have RGB crap going everywhere. Looks like the RAM is set to go to spectrum mode, but the fans, the motherboard, and all of that is set to, looks like blue and white. So that just looks really, really classy. And look at the front of this. Look where the fans shine through. That is pretty. It's pretty quiet too. I mean, I can hear the fans blowing. It's a small chassis and it's got a lot of resistance to overcome with the radiator and stuff in the front, but this is definitely not intrusive. We've got a pretty quiet environment right here. So when I stop talking, to give you an idea of how quiet it is, I'll tap the table. And we do have a shotgun mic pointing down here, so. Do we have any, oh, we got Msi Afterburner here. So do we have an overclock profile? Looks like we have an overclock profile set. They have it set to plus 100 on the core, temp limit's the same, power limit's the same, memory clock is a plus 100. I know for a fact it can go farther than that. Like, I'm so tempted right now to move those sliders because I know where this card will go. I won't mess with it. That's hard for me though. So we're under load right now in Heaven Benchmark. I'm using this right now to test the GPU temperatures. I'm curious to how hot it's gonna get. Looks like we're sitting at 36C right now, and here's the acoustics. If you actually just listen. You can hear the fans, clearly, at least in person. The mic may not pick it up as good as your ears, but this is definitely not invasive. But there is a setting I'm gonna change after all. I know I said I wasn't gonna touch this, but there is one setting I'm gonna change. Check this out right here. Do you see how the frequency is bouncing all around? One of the benefits to water cooling a GPU is the fact that this doesn't become a factor, because there's two things that can cause the frequency to bounce around like that. Temperature, but it's usually not gonna bounce under temperature, it's just gonna start to step down slowly, and power limit. Now, while we're overclocking this graphics card, which they've done with the +100, they didn't move the power limit slider. So what I'm gonna do right now, and I want you to watch this number as I do it in real time. Do you see how this is still bouncing around plus or minus over 100 megahertz at times? Now watch if I take the power limit and the temp limit, max these out, watch what happens to this, whoops, watch what happens to this core speed, and check that out. Locked at 2062, and we're gonna go ahead and save this profile. Back to number 1, there we go. The reason why we do that is because we are overclocked and underwater. We are also water cooling the VRMs on this card because it's a full cover water block, it's an EK water block. We are not overextending the limits of this card at all. So now we've got a much more consistent core clock. It still has not changed, as you can see right there. That's the only change I'm gonna make to their settings right here. Max out the power limit, max out the temp limit, as you can see at 38C under load. 39C, this might top out on a warmer day, maybe in the mid 40s. I've seen 1080 Ti's go up to about the mid 40s under load. That is not gonna be a problem. So as you can see, they're 2062 overclock. Yeah, send it, let it go. Don't let it fluctuate like that. It's the only change I'm making to their settings right there. All right, and the other test I wanted to do was Cinebench R15, mostly because I'm just curious as to how the per overclock performs rather than the sync all cores, which I normally do. And I'm gonna take a look at the temperatures right here. Now I'm well aware it's not a full burn test. It's not gonna sit there and get the loop all the way up to temp, but it's I know we've got a fairly oversized loop given the components that are in here and the quality of the radiator, that our temperatures are not gonna creep up too much over time. So let's just go ahead and send it. And our temperatures right here, you see 71, 70, 72. So it looks like we went right to the low 70s on an overclocked 8700K. That's pretty acceptable. I mean, the 8700K, like I said, runs toasty. People know this. So this should not surprise anybody. This is still 35C away from thermal junction max. So we've got plenty of cooling overhead. And we run a 1500 exactly, so not bad. Okay, so here's our profile. Looks like it's set to, is it set to 2133? Is there no overclock? Oh no, we have an overclock right here. See, it's set to 4.9. CPU is currently running at 24C in the BIOS, 25C, so that's nice. I doubt it's delidded. I don't believe it's delidded at all. But we do have an XMP profile loaded right here. That's 3868 on our memory. And we do have a per core overclock right now set to 4.9, then going down to 4.77 and 5 and 5. So it is going to bounce around the 4.9 cores to whichever two are under the most load. And it seems like a pretty stable way to do it. I mean, obviously when you're dealing with customers and stuff, and you're an SI, you wanna build a system that's gonna be as stable as possible. When I build mine, like the ones you see back there, those are on the edge. They're on the razor's edge of crashing. But that's okay because that's part of the game for me. That's part of the chase, is finding that stable overclock. Obviously for a client build or a customer build, you don't want that. You don't want them being, you know, inconvenienced with random crashes and stuff. But that being said, obviously this carries a full warranty. And this is a good time to talk about SIs and where we are right now, because a lot of people don't know this, but SIs in many cases have priority with GPU purchases. I talked to a couple of different GPU manufacturers prior to making this video, and they did confirm with me that SIs get priority so that system builders can continue building systems, and they get them either at or extremely close to MSRP, not the jacked up pricing that you're seeing because of cryptocurrency. So with that said, this might be the best time ever to consider a pre-built system, because for the first time ever, I think it's cheaper to build a whole system from scratch through an SI. You know, you go up to the website and choose the parts you want, they build it. There's a nominal, you know, markup that they make, you know, they can keep running their business on, and it's still cheaper than trying to do it yourself because of the pricing of GPUs in the current market. Now we can hope that all changes, but as you can see, there are builders out there that take a huge passion in what they do. XOTIC PC being absolutely no different. And I'm really happy to see that they built a system right here that I would be absolutely proud to put on my own desk and use. Guys, check the description below. There is a link down there where you can enter this giveaway. Because of the price, this system right here is just under $4,000. So someone's getting a $4,000 tower, and the extras that come with it right here. We got the XOTIC PC mouse pad and mouse. So you guys can definitely, someone's getting a heck of a prize package here. But all the rules and regulations and all that stuff is in that link. Also a huge thank you to Fractal Design. They were also involved in helping me arrange all of this Obviously, their Meshify C was a huge part of the showcase here. So again, a huge thank you to Fractal Design. But guys, I'm gonna go. Thanks for kind of checking out this overview and first look at the XOTIC PC G7 Avenger. Someone's gonna be getting a heck of a prize. So anyway, don't come to me asking for the details. Everything you need to know is in the description below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.